Too lazy to get up and do an actual video. I'm gonna give you guys my reaction to the fights while I'm in bed. It's like 5 in the morning. I gotta sleep soon. But I saw a few snippets of the fight. I watched a few of the fights. They were all boring. Like there was really nothing to look forward to. The fights were boring as fuck. I watched some of the Calvin Kattar and Giga Chikadze fight. That was the only fight that really was exciting. Everything else was pretty boring. I watched the prelims. I was bored out of my mind. I went to sleep for a bit. I woke up and then I watched the Kaylin Shukagian and what's her name, Jennifer Maya fight. That was boring too. Kaylin Shukagian, as always, no finishes, not even taking any chances. She's a boring ass fighter. She's not even attractive. She's boring and she's ugly. So I mean, that's cool. I'm not really that attractive either, so I don't know why I'm talking shit. But anyways, moving on. Giga Chikadze, I kind of thought that would happen. You know, he's more of a kick-heavy style. You know, what's his face again? Used the pressure style in wrestling really, really well. Chikadze is more of a kicker, so he doesn't really have that type of, you know, skill set. He's a pretty slick ground fighter, but on the bottom he has no bottom game. What I mean by bottom game, he has no ability to throw up submissions from the guard position where he's throwing up triangles, arm bars, heel hooks. Maybe you can transition to a heel hook when you're in the guard. You can also transition to the back if you move the tricep. I learned that in jiu-jitsu one day, but you know, whatever. That doesn't work on high level fighters. Of course not. It's something you learn the day one in jiu-jitsu, how to take someone's back from the full guard position. But I mean, it's like he has the basics. He's a very good grappler, but he's just not as good as Cater. I mean, this kind of shows levels. It shows the levels that Max Holloway is on right now. Max Holloway is levels above the division, and Volkanovski is levels above the division. I think Korean Zombie could also beat Calvin K. I think Korean Zombie would be a pretty good matchup for Giga Chikadze. I think he beats Giga Chikadze. I think he could possibly beat Calvin Kattar also. Calvin Kattar is a pretty good fighter, but he's more of a he's very plodding boxer type with some good grappling, a little bit of good wrestling, but that's about it. I mean, a guy like Korean Zombie would destroy and dust off. He would smoke that dude. What's his name? Cater. He would smoke him. I think Korean Zombie smokes that dude. What's his name? Calvin Cater or Giga Chikadze. He's very, very, very well suited to fighting a guy like Calvin Cater. Man, my lips are chapped as fuck, man. I drank like a bunch of water today as well, but like still didn't really do shit. And then I have to keep going to the toilet every 5 seconds. Like fucking annoying. That was pretty nice. But yeah, I mean the fights were pretty boring. Like I watched them on my laptop lying in bed like this because I really can't be bothered to sit on my desk. I don't care. Like I do care, but I don't care at the same time. It doesn't matter that much. I'm still only gonna get 20 views on this video, even if I sit there or if I sit here. So who cares? But anyways, moving on to business. Fights were pretty boring. Pretty boring card overall. I didn't really enjoy it. Now where does the landscape of the division move from now on? Kaylin Shukagian defeats Jennifer Maya. It doesn't really do too much for her title wise. A title shot? No, she doesn't deserve a title shot. I think she needs to fight Tyler Santos or something. Tyler Santos is definitely deserves a title shot. She's the number one contender in my eyes, but she's still not a big challenge for Valentina in my opinion. She's the number one contender, but whatever. Give her the fight, but I'm not really that enthusiastic about the fight. Moving on, Giga Chikadze, where does he go from here? He lost, so he's no title shot for you. Calvin Cater, I mean, no title shot for him. If Giga won that fight, he would have got a title shot, but he lost, so no title shot for you, buddy. Calvin Cater has to get another couple wins to get a title shot. He doesn't deserve it right now. He doesn't deserve it. His last loss was to Max Holloway, right? He came back. He won this fight. Good. But he still needs another win. I'm sorry, Calvin. You ain't getting no title shot, buddy. It's Korean Zombie, Volkanovski, and the winner is gonna fight. What's his name? Calvin. I don't know. The winner's gonna fight Max Holloway, and then Holloway Imagine that happens. Imagine Volkanovski fights. Well, he's gonna fight Zombie, and he loses to Zombie, and then Zombie fights fucking Max Holloway, and Max Holloway beats him, and then he fights Calvin Kattar, and he beats him. I mean, why would he fight Calvin Kattar again? That wouldn't make any sense. I don't see any way possible for Calvin Kattar to go back and get that title shot. The way Max Holloway beat him, he beat the fuck out of him. He beat the shit out of him. He beat the living dog shit out of him. So I don't really see a rematch. Why would I rematch a guy that I beat the crap out of like that? Literally beat the brakes off him. Like I beat the fuck out of him for 5 rounds. I'm not fighting that guy again. For what? Imagine I knock out a guy 1 week ago and I'm fighting him again the next week. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't even make sense for me to fight him a year later because he's still a fucking bum that I knocked out. Man. Just interesting landscape. What else is there? That's about it. I mean, the prelims, I don't really care. Who cares about the prelims? The fights were boring, bro. What's his name? Brandon Royval. Well, he fights in the same weight class as Davidson Figueiredo. I don't know the rankings in that division. What's gonna go on there? What do you guys think? I don't know. Like we're gonna have the Ngannou and France and Cyril Gane fight. That's the fight I'm looking forward to the most. Everything else is just entertainment. But it wasn't even entertainment. The fights were boring as fuck. Where was the entertainment? It was boring as a motherfucker. No action. Both fighters standing there like bitches, scared to throw a punch. I don't want to see that. If I was gonna watch that, I'd just watch fucking WWE. I want to see action. I want to see fighters engaging. I want to see fighters actually throwing fucking punches. I want to see fighters taking chances. I want to see fighters mixing in the grappling, mixing in the striking, constantly moving in and out, feints, movement, and more activity, more volume, more punches. Like you're throwing maybe 5 punches around, 10 punches around. Like what is this? What the fuck is this? If I was just gonna wait for you to like jiggle like that and just stay in front of him and motion and feint all day, feints. The point of feinting is so that you can draw a reaction from your opponent and capitalize. You don't just feint just to feint. You feint so you can fucking capitalize on your opponent's reaction. That's why you fucking feint. But these motherfuckers are feinting without even fucking capitalizing or throwing punches or countering. It's fucking bullshit. And it's boring as fuck. I want to actually see guys actually engaging in the fight and actually fucking fighting because that's what I'm paying you for. That's what I'm fucking watching you for is so you guys go out there and fight. Don't just stand there staring at each other like Ngannou and fucking, what's his name? Derek Lewis. That fight was so disgusting. Damn, I wanted those guys to get cut, but Ngannou came back and redeemed himself. You know, Derek Lewis got finished by Cyril Gane as I expected. I actually predicted Pena to win that fight, but no one listened to me. Nobody listened to my fucking Pena prediction. I gave the prediction. I said Pena was gonna win that fight against Amanda Nunes, but nobody listened. So it is what it is. I'm out. Peace.